Then I will provide a brief explanation about the 5 major bosses encountered in the game. In 1987, Shocker is sent to prison. He is a gambler, and he states that if he loses all of his money in a gambling game, he will wager his own finger. One finger costs 50,000 won, but when the other person didn't like it, I had to call the subordinates outside and get the ship sunk. And I was apprehended by the police, but I have been cautious regarding Shocker for a considerable amount of time. He is a gambler, but he has been in prison a total of 8 times in this lifetime. And there were numerous outstanding action leaders present, and Shows assisted Shock in eliminating this Shock through his connections at the airport, and Shock subsequently followed Shos. Hao Chu's actual name is Hao's Toy. However, during his youth he suffered from polio and consistently carried a pair of canes with him at all times. In my youth I endured frequent bullying. Once, unable to bear it any longer, I struck back with a stick. However, the people around me looked on with fear, which unexpectedly exhilarated the aggressor. This newfound thrill fueled his enjoyment of fighting, leading him to engage in life-or-death battles whenever confronted. Ultimately, he realized that existence itself is an ongoing struggle, a perpetual fight for survival. Because he fought so fiercely, his name was blown away, and gangsters started to gather around him. He was called Induk Jiaoting, and he operated the largest nightclub in Harbin at that time. Since he operated a nightclub, many people from this secret society followed him. Xiaofi's real name is Cheon Zhenbing. He belonged to the Yangachi gang rather than the Jopabo gang. There was nothing he couldn't do if he was given money. He would cut off his arm, cut off his leg, cut off his neck, and with a price tag of various colors, he would kill anyone if they just gave him money. He was such a ruthless guy. Yang Manto's real name is Yang Deokwang. Yang Manto means steamed bun. I don't know how he came up with the nickname steamed bun. This individual additionally assembled gangsters and served as a troubleshooter. He was the sole individual who remained independent from the influence of Chosu, and it is rumored that Chosu showed him respect. This individual could be described as the architect of the Chosu world. This individual is of Joseonjok descent. There were many stories about Li Zhongguang, and at that time, he was a very rare person who graduated from a university that was said to be so difficult. Once, his subordinate was caught. At that time, when Li Zhongguang was alone, he went to save himself alone. When I arrived at the enemy's hideout, there were more than 20 of them. I arrived today to rescue my subordinate. I must save this individual at all costs, because Hani, the leader of the squad, lacks any requirements. Today, I definitely have to kill this person, I replied. In response, Li Zhongguang simply put his hand here and said, "If I am Li Zhongguang with my left hand, would that be enough?" and just struck down. At that moment, the person next to him blocked it, and moved by his loyalty, he let go of his subordinate. During the moment when Chosun was apprehended in 1991, its sole known means of escape was to seek refuge with King Li Jung-go, a figure of great importance to the Chosun. Ultimately, King Li Jung-go managed to successfully evade capture and went on to establish a formidable presence in Beijing, thereby consolidating his power. I will delve into this topic in more detail at a later point in our discussion. In the upcoming video, I'll provide an explanation about the war in which these 5 leaders engage in combat with one another. See you in the next video. Now!